Hello everyone and welcome back to the final day at Nationals. It is day 5 in Canberra of Nationals 2024. It's been a great trip. I think everyone who's been involved has had an awesome time. And today we thought we'd close out the show with some mixed netball. So, boys, introduce yourself.
I'm Ben.
I'm Sam.
And how has the time been here, fellas?
Yeah, it's been great. It's the first year that I've done this, and same as Sammy. But yeah, I've loved it. It's been great fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast. So I'm first year osteo, and yeah, a lot of first years, at least in the osteo courses, didn't really know about uni nationals. So I was lucky to have a few friends that kind of brought me into this, and yeah, it's been an absolute blast this week.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like as well how good you are with the camera straight off the bat. Like, oh, that's perfect. This is amazing. Okay, so talk about osteo. Does mixed netball, does netball, the sport in general, I don't know, does osteo come up in your head a lot when you're playing? Like, oh shit, my back's doing this. My back's doing
Well, I mean, we've got Milton, one of our players, who will come on in just a sec.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a sore shoulder, and we've had an ankle injury so far in the team. I think we've got a trainer with us at the moment, so he's been giving us a few massages and everything. But
Yeah, nice.
no, from an osteo perspective, like, you know, soft tissue stuff, it all comes up.
Yeah. Have you ever disagreed with the trainers so far with their diagnosis on injuries?
Not really. I've been lucky. I haven't gotten any injuries or anything yet.
Okay,
Well,
perfect.
actually, we're done, so not at all, which is good.
Yeah.
We saw it tonight to get through, so.
See what happens tonight.
We might have to do a check-in pod tomorrow morning. Did you hear about Rupert at Parliament yesterday?
I saw photos, yeah.
I saw the selfies, yeah. But I didn't hear anything. What did you do?
He got when they were approaching Parliament, he walked up and the dog, like the sniffer dogs, just start losing it because they're like, we're not trained for this. Like, what the hell is this giant spider doing?
He's been wearing that suit for 4 days. There's probably something going on.
Yeah, no, literally. And so the police were not happy and stuff and gave him a bit of a hard time.
Did he get let in?
I don't know. I don't think he did.
There was a reason the selfies were from outside, not inside.
I was going to say, as if, with all the scanners and stuff they got going on, as if they'd let him in. But,
Yeah. No, literally. Okay, so let's get to what we're here for, netball. First question I've got, okay, and as I said, I might ambush you with some stuff, so take your time. If you could change one rule in the sport, what would you change?
That's tough.
I reckon the stepping, I'd allow for a sort of gather step, maybe.
Yeah.
So you can sort of, especially for us boys who play basketball, I know the netballers are sort of used to it, but you get 2 steps in basketball and it throws you off a little bit, especially when you're shooting. So if you could take 2 steps, get close to the ring, I reckon that'd be mine.
Yeah, I've got 2 actually, because we've got Ben obviously here. He's got this kind of like basketball routine. He's our goal shooter, so he catches the ball and does this little like spin thing, right? And then he shoots. Only a few times he was called for like too long holding the ball or anything, but like that extra second, because some of the refs or umpires, whatever they're called, would just call like 3 seconds or whatever, which like, it's, he's there, give him an extra half second or whatever it is. But my big one is like, my main spot is like wing defense. So I kind of catch the ball and I'm kind of looking to go, push the pace and everything. It's like passing over a third. You can only pass it to the next third. It's like if I'm seeing Ben like open in his third and I'm still on the back third, it's just, with basketball, you get it and go if you can, but you got to find the short pass and kind of go up and like a zigzag kind of thing. And I just find that really annoying that you can't just like lob it over the head. Yeah.
Do we know why that's a rule? Why they try and slow it in that sense?
I don't even know the rules of netball,
man. I've played a little bit of like social netball and stuff back in Melbourne, and the one that I always get called for is obstruction. I can never understand.
That's me.
That's probably my other one as well.
Yeah. Has that been called during the games? Have we been running into it a lot? Is it still
a lot of the sort of guys, especially from the basketball background? When you're D'ing up, you're trying to get really close. But in netball, it's a lot different. Especially, I mean, me, I haven't really been called with it because I'm a goal shooter, but it's certainly hard for some of the boys to adapt to that.
Yeah, I had about 6 of them yesterday.
Did you? in one game or in multiple?
No, in one game.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I'm
awesome.
I'm wing defense. The second they get the ball, like normally the opposition have this big guy who Milton's on, like just standing there. So I'm trying to make sure their lob, is too high or something so Milton can get it. So I'm just trying to put my hand in their face. And the second I see them catch the ball, I just jump on him. And I'm like, oh, hang on. Try and step back. And it's like, obstruction? It's like, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so you mentioned that you guys dabble in basketball. You got the basketball podcast, which, do you want to plug?
Absolutely. We've got my new podcast, about a month and a half or so in the making, Talking Aussie Hoops. Just talking all things basketball, a bit of NBA, NBL, local leagues. We interviewed Steve Coffey, the youth league head coach and the head coach of Uni Nationals basketball. That's my plug. Check it out.
Awesome. Okay, but you've been playing. You've played basketball before going into netball, or vice versa. What was the?
Oh yeah, so obviously like both of us, I think Ben's a bit of footy as well. I've just purely been basketball, but no, I've played a bit of social netball on a Wednesday night at McLeod, the McLeod Net Stadium. Look, I've done that for like 6 months or so. Not very good. It's funny, like I've been playing wing defence here, but I haven't played wing defence before. I've either been shooter or keeper. But yeah, no, it's been good fun. It's been definitely a level up in competition.
Yep.
At least my social netball team's not very good, but that's okay.
Yeah, I gotcha. What are some of the complexities in netball that like differentiate themselves from basketball outside of like the stop-start movement?
It's a very technical game. Basketball, it's much more free flowing, and you can sort of create something out of nothing. Where netball, I think there's a lot of strategy, and you can see that with the girls that play, or even some of the boys that play, the way where they stand and how they body you. It doesn't matter how high you can jump or how fast you are. There's nothing you can do. So
yeah, I find that like just cutting is just so much more impactful in netball. Like obviously basketball, you do your cutting and everything, but netball, you need cutting every single possession because it's just one-on-one matchups all over the court. Like it's very rare that like you'll have a fast break kind of opportunity. You've still always got players around you. So like basketball, if you've got a fast break and wide open layups, that's always going to be a defender at the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of navigating and adjusting through that.
Yeah. No, those are some awesome answers. Actually, that was way more detailed than I was expecting.
We're all over it.
So because it is mixed netball and you're playing with women, and they've been playing the sport for much longer, I'm guessing, than you guys have. What have they managed to kind of impart knowledge-wise upon in this trip? Has there been a lot of tips that they've given?
Yeah, I got a good one. So I mentioned before my rule about throwing the ball over the extra third.
Yeah.
The amount of times, like, Sam, slow down. So it's just all about that short pass. But then, I mean, at the end of the day, they're absolutely right. Like, you do all the short passes, and eventually someone gets open. Obviously, I mean, the main turnovers that I've thrown have been I'm trying to get the ball and go straight away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about like so much more strategy, as Ben was saying before. Just the short passes going, zigzag around. It just opens it all up.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. There's been quite a few times I think I've been caught out not knowing what I'm doing, and I've had to ask an umpire, ask one of the girls, and change my game on it because I've played a few games of netball, but nothing sort of as serious as this, and I've been. Especially early on, I was getting called with quite a few things that, I didn't know the rule.
Yeah,
so,
no, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I gotcha. So, as I said a little bit earlier, I've played a tiny amount of social netball. Apparently, there's this rule where you're allowed to stand on the back of someone.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you seen this?
I've seen this. Where they like tabletop.
Yeah, it blew my mind. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Has there been any weird kind of game plans from teams that you've seen?
Well, we had... Milton, when he went into goal shooter, started passing it to himself off the padding.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good.
Yeah. Did it work? Nah, it didn't work. I think he pelted it way too hard.
Because you have to, like, as you throw it, you need to land before you can catch it again. Is that right? Yeah, so it's like, you throw it, and like if you throw it too hard, the ball comes too quickly. So by the time you get there, you've already got the ball in your hand.
Right.
So you have to do that real soft thing, but it's weird because the defender's right there. It's hard to just do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. What's the fastest goal? Is it goal point? Sorry, I should know this.
I think it's goal.
It's goal.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
I think it's goal.
Could be either.
We'll go with goal. What's the fastest goal that you guys have scored during this tournament? Roughly,
we would have had a close to a 5 second off the centre pass, centre pass into here, into the goal shooter.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things with these guys, which we had to bring up at some point, we've been kind of using the basketball, like the NBA sort of bench group. Like, I don't know if you've seen in the NBA, a lot of the bench celebrations have been going crazy. So I've been starting a few of the games on the bench, right? And I've been trying to get some of the crowd who have been coming to our games to get into these celebrations, right?
Yeah.
So Ben comes up with this celebration. It's the phone and it's the hand like that. And we've been rolling with it. I don't know if you saw Ben just before. Some guy just walked past and he just did it to him. It's now a thing.
Yeah, it's caught on.
You see all the photos of like people coming to our games and it's all just that. Yeah. So it's like every time we're just doing that.
Yeah.
And Ben had a pretty good explanation for the celebration itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was just, me, Milton, Sam, Das, we all sort of play like, I'm in the attacking third, Sammy the middle, Milton Sammy and Das the middle, Milton the defensive, and it's sort of, calling each other, reminding it's game time.
Yeah, locked in.
I don't know. It's probably the best explanation I can come up with. It probably just looks cool above all else. But
Yeah. No, it's good fun. We've also got the other one. Obviously, whenever the good pass goes, we've got the eyes, the goggles. It's always good fun. And then the one we tried to kind of latch on at the end was with Milton. It was kind of the horns for a good defensive possession. But we were saying it's tough because what makes it good is that, like, I'll be on the bench, Ben will score, and we'll just look at each other and do that because the game's done. But because of Milton, right, he blocks the ball, but the ball's kind of still in place. He has to be locked in. So I'll just be doing that to him, and he's just still going around. So I'm just standing there like an idiot, just being like, what's going on? Everyone's just looking at us. So poor Milton can't, like, do it back because he doesn't have enough time because he's, he blocks it, and then he has to go again.
Have we come up with what do you want to call it? A nickname for this celebration?
Nah, nothing as, unless you have.
No, not really.
Let's come up with something now. Let's do this. Let's brainstorm. What are we thinking? So we've got phone time. We can't say game time. Kind of thing. Let's take it.
I think our word or phrase of the trip's been lock in.
Yeah.
Or locked in.
Okay.
We can call it the lock in.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
You in? It's time to lock in.
What about and this might be terrible. What about the clock in?
The clock in.
You're clocking in.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, that's
We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
We'll work with that.
Yeah.
Awesome,
like
boys.
it.
Well, thank you very much. I think we might do a quick swap around and make sure that we get some game time for everyone on the camera, yeah?
No worries.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you very much
Thanks,
for joining me.
mate.
I hope you guys have had a good
Cheers.
time at Nationals.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
All right, we're back. Okay. I'm now joined by two new guests. Gentlemen, you have your chance to introduce yourselves.
Hey, my name's Milton.
And I'm Darcy.
Milt the Stilt. Are we running with it?
No, I don't know. I've had a few nicknames this trip, and I'm not a fan of any of them.
What's the worst one that you've heard?
No, they keep calling me Ton, and I'm just like, it's just not my name. Like, I can't get around it. It's done.
Yeah. No, I get you. Okay, boys. So, what do you think has been what's been the hardest game you've played, and what's been the most enjoyable game you've played?
Start off.
Well, probably on Wednesday we had 2 losses, which were a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Came against some pretty tall opponents.
Yep.
Which we struggled with a bit.
Yeah.
The most enjoyable one, probably, I enjoyed the last one on our second day. That was the last game of the first pool round, so we kind of had to win that to progress into the next division, and everyone came and watched, and that was really enjoyable. We got a good win in that one.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I'd say, again, the toughest game was definitely against, it was Macquarie, I think, on the third day, when we got seeded into the new pools of Div 1, and then there was this bloke that's like 7 foot tall, and I'm just like, I'm 6'2", like, so.
Yeah, right, he's 7 foot.
He's like pretty much reaching at the rim, and they're just lobbing it. I'm just like looking at it go over, and I'm like, oh God,
That's crazy,
my
dude.
nightmare.
Oh my God.
But yeah, most enjoyable, I enjoyed the UTS game a lot, even though we lost. Like, I think the team as a whole, it was like everyone just merged together, and like we had like one goal just to play as well as we could, and it worked really well. Like, we were bouncing the ball off each other, playing really well. They had a few bigger blokes again, but it's sort of like, it was just like that team bonding. I think that game was like something that we'll all remember throughout this trip, for sure.
Awesome. Who do you think's been the team MVP of the games?
Ooh.
That's a hard question.
That is a tough question. The girls have been we've been having chats like every night, and we've said like every person in this team is like so good. Like we've like, as soon as someone gets rolled on and someone gets rolled off, you know full confidence that person that's coming on is like doing is going to do a job for you, like regardless. Like, we don't really have a weakness in terms of like how we play. Like, we're pretty rapid. We play a bit different to the other teams, like from what I found. So I've enjoyed it so much.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, fellas. Is this your first Nationals experience?
Yes.
Yeah. And for you?
I've done track and field before, so that's separate to this time. So that's back in April.
What's your chosen code in track and field?
800 meters.
Oh wow, okay.
So I've done that a couple of times.
That's hell for me, dude.
That's crazy. It's not people's favourite event, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. Did you? Has it happened this year already? I should know this, but
yes, it happened back end of April.
Okay.
They had that one up in the Gold Coast.
Yeah. You went well.
So yeah, I came second overall.
Oh
which
wow,
I was pretty
dude,
happy
congratulations.
with. So got a medal for that.
Yeah. Awesome. What have you enjoyed more? And granted, you've got a bit of a crowd here, so I'd be careful with your answer.
I think the team environment of this time's been pretty good.
Awesome.
Back in April, it was me and one other person from RMIT.
Yeah.
So it was a bit lonely.
Yeah.
But everyone gets around each other here, and it's really good
Cool.
culture which the Redbacks have put on. Which has made it a great experience.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Do we know what kind of turnover we might see? Have we got a team with people who are on their way out of the system, or do we think this team can hang around for a few years?
From what I know, there's girls 3 or 4 leaving. I don't know. Yeah. I think there's about 3 or 4 leaving, but a lot of us are still staying through, I guess. Like, there's a pretty young group. Like, I think Darcy, you're in your last year, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in my last semester, so I'll be out next year.
Sammy, who was on before, has got like another 4 years, so he'll be here for a while. Stuck around. So I think it's going to be a bit of a mix, but I think majority of the team's probably going to stick together. From what I can see. So cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. What has been the best kit that you've seen from all the teams in the Redbacks, or your favourite kit?
Definitely not ours.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yes.
Really?
No, we're wearing polos when everyone else has singlets, and it's just not it.
Okay.
I didn't mind the hockey uniform today, the white, but I think the volleyball, or what was the other sport that we watched? Sorry, I've gone blank.
No, dude, you're fine. Don't stress.
We had the basketball uniform, which was a bit different to ours. They had the stripes, but it's all pretty standard. I think they could improve a bit, to be honest, on the uniforms.
Yeah, good feedback. Good feedback.
Yep.
We'll definitely we'll put this as like the
Media
real from
team,
today.
watch out, make a better uniform.
Like I have this top here. I like it. I love it. Looks good, but I can't play in it, unfortunately.
I gotcha. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I hope you had a really good time at Nationals. And for everyone who's watched any of the media that's been put out, either being at Nationals or back home, thank you so much for your support. We've really, really appreciated it. And yeah, day 5, Nationals. Are we sad that this is over, or are we like, okay, it's time to go back to Melbourne?
I think the body's ready to quit, but mentally we're sad.
Okay,
so,
gotcha. Yeah. Well, look, that's everything from us here. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see everyone back in Melbourne.